morning. Welcome to 모닝스페셜. 여러분 안녕하세요. 9월 5일 목요일 최수진의 모닝스페셜입니다. K-pop and Hallyu are represented by many different artists and means like b-boying, with endless hours of practicing and mastering moves. They twist, they bend, and they spin. And a competition bringing the best of this genre is gathering steam in Bucheon. 브레이킹, 팝핑, 락킹, 그리고 힙합 듣기만 해도 힘이 나죠. 내일입니다. 9월 6일 금요일 경기도 부천시청에서는요. 제4회 부천 세계 비보이 대회가 열린다고 합니다. 이번 행사는 국내 유일의 비보이 세계대회인데요. 24개국에서 총 600여 명의 비보이가 참가한다고 합니다. 내일 6일에는 브레이킹, 팝핀 댄스, 솔로 배틀이, 또 모레 7일에는 비보이, 팝핀, 락킹, 힙합 등 올 장르 퍼포먼스 대회가 열린다고 하네요. 비보이를 사랑하는 청취자 여러분, 이번 대회는 누구나 무료로 관람할 수 있다고 합니다. Sometimes I wonder if these b-boys are magicians, not dancers. With that in mind, let me give you today's quiz question. B-boying is generally known as something dancing. 1번 break dancing, 2번 breakfast dancing, 3번 BFF dancing. 네. B-boying is generally known as what? Let us know what you think the answer is. And what are the dance moves you remember or were really into back in the day? 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 기다리고 있습니다. 퀴즈 정답과 사연 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 비타민 C 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 여러분의 소식과 소감 그리고 방송 중 궁금한 질문도 언제든지 보내주세요. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045, 또 무료 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. Okay then, let's kick off today's show with today's global headlines. 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
Hong Kong's chief executive Carrie Lam has pledged to formally withdraw a contentious extradition bill.
캐리 람 홍콩 행정장관이 범죄인 인도 법안을 공식 철회했습니다.
The August fires in the Amazon rainforest have burned an area equivalent to 4.2 million soccer fields, according to data.
아마존 열대우림에서 발생한 산불로 8월 한 달에만 축구 경기장 420만 개에 해당하는 면적이 불에 탄 것으로 조사됐습니다.
A 14-year-old has been charged with 5 counts of murder after confessing to shooting his family members in the U.S. state of Alabama.
미국 알라바마주에서 14살 소년이 가족 5명 전원에 총격을 가한 사건이 벌어졌습니다.
Korea and Myanmar have launched a joint industrial complex project as part of the two countries' economic cooperation agenda.
한국과 미얀마 경제 협력 사업의 하나로 미얀마 양곤에 여의도 규모의 한국형 산업단지가 들어섭니다.
The story of a Vietnamese taxi driver who found and returned a Korean tourist's wallet containing more than 2 million won has gone viral.
한 베트남 택시기사가 한국인 관광객이 차 안에서 흘린 200여만 원 상당의 현금이 든 지갑을 찾아줬습니다. And for the headlines and more, I'm joined by Walter. Good morning, 선생님.
Well, good poppin' morning to you.
Yeah, poppin', breakin'.
Breakin', poppin', lockin'. Would you have known those terms if they weren't on your script?
No.
All right. I know them, but I certainly can't do them. But I do appreciate people who can. And when it comes to people who can, Koreans are always at the top of the list. They've won so many world championships in this particular event.
Yeah.
It's really mind-boggling.
It is. Have you ever been to any of these performances?
I've never been to like the World Championships, although I've watched them online. But, you know, I used to live in Daegu.
Oh, yeah.
There's a young gentleman at Susung Lake in Daegu. He goes out every single day And he was breakdancing there from the age of, I think, like 7 or 8.
Wow.
He's still there today. He's done it for 10 or 12 years in a row. The city built him his own little platform there. He's been featured, of course, in many Korean media outlets for having done this for so long. So
Right.
shout out to the Susang Lake breakdancer.
It's amazing. 저도 비보잉 하시는 분들 보면은 경이로울 정도로 놀랍더라고요. 어떻게 저게 되지? 인간의 몸으로. 그래서 굉장히 신기했는데 우리 EBS 선생님 중에서도 이 비보잉 굉장히 잘하는 선생님 계시는데 혹시 아세요?
No.
선현우 선생님이
Really?
굉장히 잘하세요.
Oh, yeah, actually, now that you mention
정말
it,
잘해요.
I did notice. I did know that. I just couldn't really link it together in my mind. Yeah,
Sam,
you're
are you
right.
listening? 네, 듣고 계시면 사연 한번 보내주세요, 선생님. 방향숙 님이요. 오늘도 환한 미소 예쁘시다 라고 보내주셨습니다. 아유, 감사합니다. 이동일 님이요. 오, 하얀 옷, 수진쌤, 눈부셔요 라고 보내주셨습니다. 아, 그래요? 그냥 티 하나 입었는데 감사합니다. 남정현 님 사연 읽어주세요, 선생님.
Kicks it off with good morning special.
굉장히 길게 써주셨어요. Good morning special to everyone out there as well. 빛과 소금님이요. 걸어갈 수도 있는 부천에서 한다니 괜히 가보고 싶네요. Yeah, anyone living nearby? Why not go and take a visit?
Yeah, check it out because if you've never seen it, like you said, it really defies the laws of gravity and physics, a lot of the stuff they do.
맞아요. 차현숙님, 스카프 예뻐요 라고 보내주셨습니다. 감사합니다.
Yeah, that one always gets a lot of comments.
그러게요. 그 다음에 2995 번호 쓰시는 분이 상쾌한 아침을 열어주셔서 늘 고맙습니다 라고 보내주셨어요. 네, 감사합니다 여러분. 상쾌한 여러분의 메시지 계속해서 받도록 하겠습니다. 퀴즈 정답도 보내주시고요. 혹시 생방송 중에 질문이 있으신 분들은 또 질문 보내주시면 저희가 최선을 다해서 대답해드리도록 하겠습니다. 자, 헤드라인 다시 듣고 싶으신 분들은 모닝스페셜 홈페이지에 들어가셔서 헤드라인 다시 듣기에서 무료로 들으실 수 있습니다. 많은 이용 바랍니다. Let's go over the headlines.
Headline number 1. Hong Kong's chief executive Carrie Lam has pledged to formally withdraw a contentious extradition bill.
캐리 람 홍콩 행정장관이 범죄인 인도 법안을 공식 철회했습니다.
Yeah, big news here, of
Yeah.
course. We've been reporting on the events happening in Hong Kong pretty much every day, certainly 2-3 times a week for the time that they have been happening now, which is in its 13th, going on 14th week. So this is indeed big news there because this was one of the top demands of those protesters and demonstrators there in Hong Kong. Chief Executive Lam gave a 5-minute televised address, and in that she said many things, of course, but most pertinent to this story, she said, the government will formally withdraw the bill in order to fully allay public concerns.
Right. And hopefully this will put an end to the 3 months of protests and violence and all the news we've been hearing from Hong Kong. We don't know exactly what the response has been yet, but nonetheless, this is one of the biggest moves, I think, the Hong Kong government has shown in months.
Well, indeed it is. And in addition to using the term withdraw of the bill, which is something that's very important because the bill had been declared dead or shelved in the past, but the semantics of that were not enough to allay the concerns of the demonstrators. In addition to announcing that, Chief Executive Lam also announced that her government would introduce measures to address the cause of the last 3 months of mass protests, including appointing 2 new members of a police watchdog agency, holding a series of dialogues, and investigating other social problems.
네, 6월 9일부터 시작된 홍콩의 이 시위가 이제 끝이 나지 않을까라는 이제 전망들도 나오고 있는데요. 일단은 어제 캐리 람 행정장관이 송환법을 공식적으로 철회한다라는 발표를 했습니다. 그동안에 6월달 그리고 7월달에 그 송환법은 뭐 죽었다라는 표현을 쓰긴 썼었지만 철회한 것이 아니었기 때문에 그때 많이 논란이 됐었거든요. 이번에는 공식 철회 소식이 또 나오자마자 주가도 오르는 모습을 보였죠. Stocks rose as well on the back of this good news.
Yes, you're right. There was a large surge in the stock market there at one point, passing 4% increase, I think touching 4.3 at the end of the day when the market closed. I believe they were just under that 4% number at 3.9%.
Yes. The Hang Seng Index, of course, ended at 2,523. That was, as you said, up 3.9%. 네, 이 소식이 전해지자 홍콩의 주식 시장도 이제 오름세로 마감이 됐고요. We will have to see today what the response is going to be, and hopefully there will be an end to the protest. Although there were actually 5 different requests from the protesters, and this is only one of them.
Yes, indeed. So while we have said this is certainly big news, how it will actually impact the demonstrations there has yet to be seen. The 5 main demands of those protesters and demonstrators there were number 1, the withdrawal of the bill, of course, that has been achieved.
Yep.
An independent probe into the use of force by police. Chief Executive Lam did stop short of saying that. In fact, she said almost the opposite. She said that the police should be investigated by the bodies already in place to do so. There was also a third request of an amnesty for the arrested protesters. 4th, the halt of categorizing the protests as riots, as we touched on yesterday. And finally, the implementation of universal suffrage.
그렇습니다. 시위대는 총 5가지의 요구사항을 그동안 쭉 얘기를 해왔었는데요. 그중에서 송환법의 완전 철회는 어제 달성이 된 것 같습니다. 나머지 4가지에 대해서는 사실상 람 장관이 거부 의사를 밝혔기 때문에 앞으로 어떻게 될지는 지켜봐야겠습니다. Let's go on to headline number 2.
The August fires in the Amazon rainforest have burned an area equivalent to 4.2 million soccer fields, according to data.
아마존 열대우림에서 발생한 산불로 8월 한 달에만 축구 경기장 420만 개에 해당하는 면적이 불에 탄 것으로 조사됐습니다.
So we all have an idea of the size of a soccer or a football field or pitch, if you will, but the actual size there is nearly 30,000 square kilometers that have burnt. That is approximately 9 billion pyong for our Korean listeners who are more familiar with the pyong measurement. And if I've done my conversions correctly, that is 90억 pyong. So that's certainly a large size indeed. The number of fires burning there is said to be just under 40,000, about 39,900 fires burning, an area of nearly 30,000 square kilometers. And if we look at the situation last year, there were just 14,000 fires last year. So we're seeing a huge increase in both the number of fires and the area that has been burned.
But really, even though you've given us some big numbers there, it's hard to grasp an image of more than 4 million football fields and 90억 평. Again, it's not something you see.
That is indeed correct. To try to perhaps put it into perspective, the southern portion of the Korean peninsula, so of course that is the Republic of Korea, Daehanminguk, it is 100,000 square kilometers in area.
Okay.
The fires burning in the Amazon have burnt 30,000 square kilometers, so that's nearly a third of the entire Korean peninsula. South Korean portion.
Okay, I see. 네, 그래서 지금 열대우림에서 계속해서 브라질뿐만 아니라 남미 지역의 아마존이 타들어가는 소식을 계속해서 전해드리고 있는데요. 지금 3주가 넘었어요. 그리고 8월 한 달에만 이게 축구 경기장 420만 개, 90억 평, 네, 90평이 아닙니다. 90억 평에 해당되는 면적이 불에 탔다라는 분석이 어제 나왔습니다. 이게 거의 10년 만에 최대 규모의 산불이라고 하고요. 그 다음에는 지금 그동안에 브라질에서는 어떤 국제적인 원조를 거부해 왔었지만 앞으로는 그러기가 굉장히 힘들어 보입니다. 앞으로 국제사회의 협조를 당부할 것 같아요. It's
You're
going to be
right.
hard to do this alone.
Yes, excuse me. Yes, indeed. And you're right in pointing out that this is the highest in approximately 9 years.
Right.
You have to go back to August of 2010 to find a time with even more fires. There were, in that month of that year, some 45,000 fires burning there in the Amazon. And of course, the Brazilian President Bolsonaro, has been at the center of much of this. He has said that he will attend the UN General Assembly in New York later this month to explain the Amazon rainforest situation and to attend related events surrounding that.
네, 유엔 총회가 이달 말에 열립니다. 그래서 그때 아마 브라질 대통령이 어떤 국제사회의 협조를 부탁하고 당부할 것으로 예측이 됩니다. Let's go on to our next headline.
Headline number 3. A 14-year-old has been charged with 5 counts of murder after confessing to shooting his family members in the U.S. state of Alabama.
미국 알라바마주에서 14살 소년이 가족 5명 전원에 총격을 가한 사건이 벌어졌습니다.
Yeah, there are many levels on which this is a tragic and heinous story. Of course, the age of the alleged shooter being just 14 years of age. The people there being killed in number 5 is a huge number, but of course, these were said to be his family members.
Right.
Among the 5 dead as well, there was his 6-month-old stepbrother. So
Yeah.
quite tragic, quite heinous. Investigators have yet to establish a firm motive. However, there has been speculation that some of the reason behind this was that many of those family members were indeed step family members, so not biological family members.
Some reports that I've read actually say that the Alabama teen may have killed his family after learning that his stepmother was not his biological mother.
Right, exactly. So he, in the 5 people killed, there of course was his father, his mother, and 3 siblings. The father was a biological father. The mother, as well as the other siblings, were step family members. Although he is a teen, as you mentioned, there has also been speculation, given the heinousness of the crime here, that he could be tried as an adult. Of course, when you are tried as an adult, the sentencing can be quite different than if
Absolutely.
you're tried as a adolescent or youth, and could include a charge of capital murder,
Right.
which brings, of course, a much higher sentencing.
네, 그렇습니다. 14살이라는 나이를 감안하면은 사실은 이제 소년 구금 시설에 있는 것으로 그칠 수도 있지만 워낙 이번에 이 살인 사건이 5명 가족을 이제 총기로 사살했다는 그 좀 뭐라 그럴까요? 사건의 심각성도 있을 뿐만 아니라 14살이 이제 과연 아이냐 아니냐 여러 가지 얘기들이 나오고 있는데 미국 그 신문 보도들을 보면은요. 아마도 이제 capital murder라고 하는 가중 1급 살인 혐의를 적용받을 수 있다라고 합니다. 이건 보통 이제 성인에게 적용이 되는 것인데 이 아이에게 또 적용이 될 수 있다라는 관측이 나오고 있고요. 사살을 한 가족은 이제 생물학적인 아버지, 그 다음에 이제 나머지 4명은 다 step family입니다. step mother and step brothers and sisters. 그래가지고 다 동생들인데요. 이복 동생들 6살, 5살, 그리고 생후 6개월인 동생까지도 이렇게 총으로 예, 사살을 했습니다.
And this was a very small town in which this happened. The town in which it happened in the state of Alabama is said to have just 500 residents. So the death of 5 of them represents 1% of the entire population of that town. The weapon used in this case was said to be a handgun, not an assault rifle. However, it is also said that the gun had been in the home, quote unquote, illegally, which probably means that it had not been purchased through legal
I
channels.
see. 네, 그리고 아까 heinous라는 표현을 여러 번 사용해 주셨는데 굉장히 악랄한 사건이 아닐 수 없습니다. Let's go on to our next headline.
Headline number 4. Korea and Myanmar have launched a joint industrial complex project as part of the two countries' economic cooperation agenda.
한국과 미얀마 경제 협력 사업의 하나로 미얀마 양곤에 여의도 규모의 한국형 산업단지가 들어섭니다.
Of course, this news comes as President Moon Jae-in has been touring through that area. On this most recent stop of that tour, President Moon laid out his vision for close partnerships between the two nations of South Korea and Myanmar, with a particular focus on boosting cooperation on infrastructure and culture, as well as promoting people-to-people exchanges.
And this is going to be the first sort of industrial complex overseas from Korea's part since launching its so-called new, I forgot the name of it. In Korean, it's the 신남방 정책, which would be the sort of project to expand complexes and industries in the southern regions of Asia.
You're right. It's part of President Moon's new Southern Initiative. And actually,
There
you would
you
have
go.
to go back to earlier this year when that deal was signed. So this was not a recent development. The origins of this were earlier this year when the deal was signed. However, what is significant now is that there was a symbolic groundbreaking ceremony that took place. So we're seeing the actual deal that had been signed earlier. We're seeing it implemented now.
네, Southern Initiative였군요. 그 신남방 정책이 추진된 이후에 처음으로 해외에서 우리나라의 어떤 그 산업단지가 조성된다는 소식입니다. 여의도보다는 약간 작대요. 그래서 여의도는 2.9제곱킬로미터인데 이 단지는 2.25제곱킬로미터네요. Let's go on to our final headline.
Our final headline this morning, headline number 5. The story of a Vietnamese taxi driver who found and returned a Korean tourist's wallet containing more than 2 million won has gone viral.
한 베트남 택시기사가 한국인 관광객이 차 안에 흘린 200여만 원 상당의 현금이 든 지갑을 찾아줬습니다.
So 2 million won is a large sum of money, I think, to anybody, even to a South Korean, especially to lose while you're traveling. But
Sure.
given the economy there in Vietnam, that is an astronomical amount of money. And a lot of people are saying, of course, well, that would even add more significance to the fact that the taxi driver here did return that wallet, which he found in the taxi. Upon finding that wallet, the driver did try to call the owner of the wallet using a number that he had found on a receipt in that wallet, however, was not able to contact the person. The driver then went to the place where he had dropped that person off. In this case, it was a female Korean tourist, and was able to eventually get that wallet and money back to her.
네, 그래서 사실은 이제 이 여성이 돈을 잃어버린지 처음에는 모르고 있었는데 택시기사가 발견을 하고 나서 번호가 있었대요, 마침 지갑 안에. 그래서 전화를 해봤지만 통화가 되지 않았고, 나중에는 이 승객이 내린 곳까지 다시 운전해 가서 수소문 끝에 여성을 찾았다고 합니다. 베트남의 평균 임금이요, 우리 돈으로 한 28만 원이래요. 그런 걸 고려하면은 상당한 돈인데, 굉장히 양심 있는 모습, 훈훈한 뉴스로 오늘 이렇게 헤드라인을 마무리합니다.
Yeah, definitely definitely a feel-good story, especially coming on the heels of some unfeel-good stories that had been coming out of Vietnam there earlier about tourists being ripped off by taxi drivers or failing to find items that they had left in their vehicles. And for her part, of course, the woman who had the money and wallet returned to her was very grateful and donated 1.5 million dong, that is the currency there in Vietnam, roughly 80,000 won, to the Taxi Union Fund.
네, 감사의 마음을 전달하기 위해서 이 여성은 그 택시 노동조합의 기금으로 또 일부 전달했다고 합니다. Those were our headlines. Let's remind our listeners of the quiz.
Our quiz this morning is short and sweet, but with 3 choices, so please listen carefully. B-boying is generally known as blank dancing. Would that be number 1, break dancing, number 2, breakfast dancing, or number 3, BFF dancing?
짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 비타민 C 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 이혁주 님이요. 저는 필리핀 세부에서 40만 원가량 들어있는 지갑 택시에서 놓고 내렸었는데 찾지 못했어요. 라고 하시면서 방금 전해드린 뉴스와 관련된 개인적인 사연을 알려주셨습니다. 보통은 찾기 힘들죠.
It can be.
예, 쉽지 않아요.
I've dropped my phone or left my phone in a taxi here in Korea, but fortunately did get it back, so my story had a happy ending.
But of course, that's what made this story more noteworthy,
Yes.
that this taxi driver went through all the trouble to return the wallet and the money. 네. 그리고 질문이 있습니다. 선정일 님이 질문 있어요. 우리말에는 다 먹고 살자고 하는 짓인데 이런 표현이 있잖아요. 가장 비슷한 뉘앙스의 영어 표현 있을까요? 라고 물어봐 주셨습니다.
Can you start us off? Because I'm not 100%
Okay.
I recognize the Korean, but I do know like 먹고 살고. Is it like living hand to mouth?
So this is sort of like, why are we going through all this trouble? Why do we work every day?
Yeah.
And then you could say, well, you know what, we're working to eat, sort of along those lines.
Okay.
But that's not what we would say, obviously,
The
in
nuance, yeah.
English. Yeah.
Do you want to think about it over the song break?
Yeah, let's do that, actually. 노래 듣고 와서 이 질문에 대한 대답을 조금 더 잘 드리도록 하겠습니다. 저도 생각할 시간이 좀 필요할 것 같아요. Olivia Newton-John and Cliff Richard, Suddenly.